So many firms do go to the bank and ask for loans, and a percentage get turned down. If you do get turned down, what should you do? What can you do?
Well, when a business comes to the bank to ask for money, it believes it's got a viable business. So we always say we will support all viable businesses, and we do. If you have a business proposition that's viable across all the banks, the first thing we want to do is support that business. But there's always a debate around what do we mean by viable. So viable to us is if we lend you some money at some stage, we need it back. Viable to a business is if you lend me some money today so I can pay the salaries today, then I'm viable tomorrow. So there will be some times when we say, actually, we don't think you can afford to repay us, therefore we're going to have to say no. And the business thinks, but I think that's wrong. So it's right that we have a route through to the banks to say, will you have another look, please? So we all have appeals processes in place. We have phone numbers you can ring up. There are routes you can go through to get appealed. There's an independent assessor of those appeals routes to make sure that we're doing the right thing for all our businesses. So if you think we've got it wrong, if you think there's information that you've not given us that we need that will help the decision, please come back to us, use those appeal routes, and we will have another look at those.
And what are the most frequent reasons for being turned down? Or perhaps not the most frequent, what are the most easily solvable, if we're talking about practical tips for people?
Well, be practical. I mean, that's the right word for it, really. Be practical about it. Businesses, by their very nature, are going to be optimistic. You know, they're full of enthusiasm, full of passion. They will be optimistic. And it's our job, really, just to bring things down to earth a little bit, challenge things, and make sure that actually what you are going to borrow, you can repay. And it might be you've come to us for an overdraft, and we say, actually, what you need is a 3 or 5 year loan. So we do want to help you, but it's being practical that really is the key.
And it will largely be serviceability or affordability, which is the reason that the bank will turn that lending down. So if that is the case, go back, reforecast, work with your bank manager, try and understand what you can pay back and what is feasible, because we have a responsibility to lend, but we also have to lend responsibly. So we have to make sure that anything we put out there is appropriate for that business and won't be putting them underwater. And going back to the declines point, ask why you were declined, and you will get an answer, and then work with the business manager to say, how can I then address that issue, how can I make it better, and then come back. Don't feel as though you've walked out the door and that's it, it's never going to happen. It's not a firm no, it's not a no never. It might be an opportunity in the future.
Are you morally bound or duty bound to give an answer? Will everybody get an answer if they want to know why they've been turned down?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, start from the basis that we want to lend you the money. You know, that's our business, that's how we make profits. So we really do want to lend you the money and be helpful, but we have to do it responsibly. So we will explain to you why we say no if we say no, and we will help you try and get around those issues.